Green flag.
Ford versus GM. On row 2, it's Mostert and Randall. The superb sound of supercars rings out across Western Sydney. And it is a great start off the front, and have a go at the battle off the second row as Mostert tries to cover. And they were 3 wide at the turning point, and that was close as Payne sweeps in there. Waters is just hanging on at the moment from Feeney, and it is on for young and old further down the grid.
Great start there by both Feeney and Waters. He might have got him as one of the Premier cars get there, scored off the road. They bumped again. He tried to turn back on him, Feeney, and now Matt Payne's engaged in this. He knew at the start that he had to be aggressive because of Waters' pace, and Feeney is being ultra aggressive.
That was a fantastic blast off the front row of the grid by both those two protagonists, and there was nothing in it. They were maxed out on a cold tyre through the first couple of corners and barely clung to the racetrack. They were right on the edge of grip limit and spilling it. Look at the congestion back there with Kostecki and Davison. Also, line astern. Drone from Century Battery shows us just how tough and tight it is at the back of the pack. Waters has managed to squeak just a tiny margin and have a go at that. Aaron Love off the road in the gravel, picks up the throttle and manages just to scrape out the other side. We'll unpack a bit more of that when we look at the replays. It is all going on at the back of the pack at Sydney Motorsport Park. Jack Le Brocq is in there as well. He was disappointed with his qualifying. And when you look down the order at the moment, down in those 20s, it is berserk.
So I think Ryan Wood was involved in all that down there, because he's down 14 spots, Golding down 8 spots, and the aggression in the opening lap has been extraordinary. The front row were so close in terms of that. That was Wood who stopped down the back. And then have a look at Will Brown down the inside, 3 abreast, and he fires down the inside. He gets that move made on Mostert, but he's not able to get Payne.
I had my eyes peeled on what was going on up the front because this was so equal. I mean, this is evidence looking across from the top of Brock's car, and he hung in there, and he argued the point all the way down to turn 1, grabbing gears, and he had to eventually drop in. But then he got an excellent exit because Cam was on the slide out the way on the other side of turn 1, and then he had to cover aggressively under brakes. This was cool. There was a tiny little bit of a bump down there at turn 2, and then I thought, and perhaps so did Brock, that he might have been able to get him on the run to turn 3, but on the wrong side of the road it wasn't achieved. Fantastic motorsport.
This is on board now with Ryan Wood. So he's already pointing at something going on here. And then when it all goes to start mode, there he is, he's parked. So that was from Anton De Pasquale, I think, by the look of that. And that was nice avoidance, great presence of mind for Ryan not to get collected off the start there. Now, this might tell us a little bit about, yes, it does. So it was Jackson Evans having a big slide under brakes and then makes contact with Golding. And that was the reason the Premier car was backed off the side of the entry at turn 2.
So Woody's gone nowhere here. Literally stopped it. So there was something going. He was pointing his helmet like there was a comms issue. And he has got it launched again, so that's weird. We'll follow up on that story for you to understand what's gone on with the Ryan Wood truck assist entry on the start. But clearly he was agitated pre-start, and then this is the replay of what happened between Kai Allen and Aaron Love on the exit of turn 7. And it was damage on the 26 car for Penrite Racing, and that's a wild angle to be departing turn 7. And it's been a wild weekend, unfortunately, for Aaron Love so far. Live images down on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Yeah. And that's another view of what went on there. So there's only one line round turn 7 in reality. And now, unfortunately, he's been involved in an incident at the commencement of race number 2. So maybe a black cat or a ladder somewhere that he's wandered under down in the garage of the Blanchard Racing team that's affecting his outcome. And trouble here, unfortunately, for Stanaway. And this was one of the big stories in the off-season. Richie getting his run with Premier Hire in Newlon. And he's gone into...
It's actually got a fair fire underneath it, so it's like an oil fire. It's a serious engine fire, by the way.
It's on fire underneath. Get to a marshal post if you can, or jump out.
Could be an oil trail.
If you feel you need
safety car boards and flags, safety car boards and flags.
Yeah, good call on the safety car here from race control, because there's quite a significant fire in just behind the rear, or the front axle line, and you can see the amount of oil coming out of there with that trail.
3, 2, 1. Limiters engaged.
So they're still counting down. The full course yellow procedure's changed in the safety car procedure this year. So let's hope that they can attend to that car quickly once the track is safe for marshals to enter and the car speeds are arrested. That's the whole idea of the process of the safety car, that our marshals can safely enter the racetrack without threat. And easy to do here, to either drag a line or knock the power steering around in a couple of spots. We did that little piece earlier today about where you fall off the road at turn 3 and at turn 10. And underbody damage at Sydney Motorsport Park, something that's happened over the journey since going back to 1990. It may not be that, by the way, and thankfully this thing hasn't erupted. So people are reacting now, and they're taking the opportunity to nail the first of the compulsory stops.
So double stack for Triple Eight, that's probably the most significant one, Lucko.
So here's everyone barreling in. We've been dying to see these fuel chants couple up. So there goes Waters, he's connected. Let's have a look at Feeney. Watch this. Look at that, see? So there's the second loss trying to engage it. You can see how quick it dumps. They're going to get not all of it in. There you go, exactly what we thought. Now double stack. What are they going to do? Look at this guy, wrestling with it. So there you go, they've lost 3 or 4 seconds trying to get that coupled in. You can see the level. Again, they don't get all the fuel in. This is what we're talking about, this pressure that's on the tyre stop now, because you're not going to get all the fuel in. Love it.
Feeney just jumped him. Feeney just jumped Waters then in that stop. He just got in front. Look at that. This is big time.
Gradually feeds in the power in second gear for the run onto the straight. Brock's bolted, and away we go. We've got green flag conditions as we get stuck back into racing with 41 laps remaining in race number 2 of the championship. They've ticked the box for the first compulsory stop. We've seen some fuel delivered. Everybody bar one has taken on another set of Dunlop soft tyres, so it is game on. Cam now sneaking up the inside, and barrels in, bit of contact in the process.
It's just ridiculous.
Will Davison in the background, not happy about that one.
Oh, and that's that spot. Remember where you went and had a look at before, and you detailed the concrete strip and the damage that can occur to the left-hand rear tyre. And Will was lucky to get away with that because he was basically steaming along for 80 or 100 metres in the grass down there.
Cooper Murray up the inside, and might get 2 for 1. No, he doesn't. Unfortunately, that's heavy-duty contact, and he'll be in strife for that one, most likely. So Will Davison all crossed up.
Rookies, they can't drive. Here you go.
Tom Moore, new engineer partnership in 2025, and that's not going to help.
It's completely broken from old mate Bill. Yeah, it's completely wrecked lane steering. Literally, absolutely disgraceful.
So this is it now. That put him wide, and Cam fires up the inside, and then they've made wheel-to-wheel contact with the front and the rear.
And it's probably bent or hurt or bruised the steering on Will's car. And so the way the rules are read, making profit from a bump then a pass can come under investigation. So we'll see whether the stewards have got a view on that one. And I think Will was already, his blood was up as a result of that. And then ultimately, once you end up out of rhythm and you get attacked by the pack, this is the sort of stuff that unfolds.
Well, then it's the double header. So Cooper Murray's gone down the inside of Courtney and then way too deep, can't get it stopped, and fires into the left-hand rear of Will Davison. So watch this, turn in, turn in, turn in. It always looks worse for the guy on the inside because then you're trying to pull out of it, but the reality is he wasn't up far enough. And bang.
And the stewards will be looking at that one as we speak.
And he was very aggressive with trying to make that work. He doesn't want anything to get in the way of what's going to go on with these two teams' pit stops. He lost ground over Corporate Hill, gets it stopped really nicely. Brock Feeney's been really good out of here all night. Nice drive traction there from Brock. But this is going to be high-pressure teamwork right now.
Just to stay with this and have a bit of a look. It gives us a real clear understanding of strengths and weaknesses across both cars.
Fifth is left. Stay out.
Stay out. So they altered the call. It was a pit this lap, stay out. So Waters gets some clear air. Brock has come in from the lead of the race.
This is a qualifying lap.
You just took the words out of my mouth. This will be a maximum attack here from Waters on this lap. Riding the Ripple Ampol Racer on the left-hand side of screen. Fuel is not part of the equation. It's just a question of getting those wheels and tyres on and gone. And away he goes.
There's Brown. So Feeney already gone. There's Brown
And Mostert. And it's going to be tight for this next half a lap for Waters. No, he can't hang on to it down there. He just hasn't got the temperature in the tyres. So I was going to say for the next half a lap, he'll have real strife trying to fend off Chaz, but it didn't even get that far. It didn't even get the sentence out before he's lost that spot. Brock Feeney on that bit of concrete that's fairly abrasive down there if you do get off the edge of it. He's having a look and got him. Nice job. And in fact, Will spotted him, opened the steering, did exactly the same thing. So you can always sense when someone around you's got more tyre grip and it wasn't worth the fight. Now, we go back to the battle that we were getting excited about a few laps ago. It's 7 seconds and 14 laps. 4 laps to go, 0.2 of a second. There's nothing in it. He carries pace into turn 1 and he's got the slide going, Cam Waters. He's looking for a double victory. If you're Brock Feeney, you're looking for your first podium at Sydney Motorsport Park and redemption from a tough night last night. So, hi mate, I'm here, rat-a-tat-tat. Yep, I'm Cam Waters and I'm right on the rear bumper. So huge pressure through turn 3. Brock will be well and truly aware of the pressure of now. The lunge comes down the inside and there is contact between the two. What a disaster. So Waters has gone down the inside and barreled into the side. And Will Brown could end up being the beneficiary because Waters is redressing. What a catastrophic end to the race. With only 4 laps to go. A disaster here. What a mess. More contact now as Brown makes contact with the back of Waters. It's something of a schmozzle at the back end as they all try and figure out who's where. It's a mess.
Oh, he's put him off the road again. Now it's another bump. This is on for young and old. This is great stuff.
Unbelievable. So, is Waters going to get away with that, or is he going to get a slap from the umpire? We're right at the sharp end of this race. All of the drivers have lit up on the radio. They've all got a point of view. But what we've got at the moment is an unbelievable situation where there's a gigantic question mark hanging over the top of Cam Waters. All of a sudden, you've got 2 Red Bull cars either side of the monster car, 3 laps to go, nothing between them, and the blood is up in every direction.
Absolutely, and all the chat over the radio is you can't just redress like that. So there's going to be 2 schools of thought. Down the inside was Cam Waters at turn 4. They made contact, then Feeney went off the road. Straight away, Waters backed it off, parked on the left-hand side of the road, and let him go by. But it wasn't him, it was his teammate, Will Brown. So the 2 cars then got caught up.
So, Feeney leads from Waters, leads from Brown. There will be a lot of discussion about this afterwards. There'll be furrowed brows in race control as they try to unpack this one. And right at the moment, Brock Feeney's got the ascendancy in this car race. But there's a gigantic question over what happened back there. That's 0.2 of a second. What an unbelievable scenario watching that. And incident noted. It sure was, by hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So that has got everybody thinking. And I'm not sure that Cam will get away with that one. But a great motor race. So a thriller to be able to get back up into the teeth of this battle. But that big dive down the inside and resulting in the contact. We've got 2 to go. I've got no doubt that race control will look at this one after the fact. They'll be unpacking data and vision as we speak. Feeney leads. 0.1 of a second. And Waters has dropped that right rear off the edge of the sawtooth curve down there and only just barely wrestled it back on. He's not surrendering here. He's having another attack. We've only got 6 kilometres of racing to go and he starts to range up on the outside. There is nothing in it. It's a feeler gauge margin between first and second. It's another dive that he's thinking about down the inside here at turn 4. He thought about it, but this time decides to back away. But here comes Brown. He has a lunge down the inside as well. Forces the issue at turn 5 and there's nothing in it here. Will's up the inside and he'll continue with this all the way down to turn 6. They're chasing each other all over the road. And does he squeeze by? I think he's going to get him by the time they get to Corporate Hill. No, he didn't get the drive out of there, Brown. Waters clinging to second place by his fingernail.
So Waters thinks he hasn't done anything wrong and he's just trying to get Feeney. But Brown's playing into the game. So Brown doing that manoeuvre at turn 5 and then pushing him wide down to turn 6 has taken the heat off Feeney for half a lap.
Meantime, have a look behind. Mostert and Payne are right there in 4th and 5th. It's going to be a 5-way battle. No investigation necessary between 6-1 and 88. So there's been a call. So there's been a call from the umpire. It is game on. So that'll set the tone.
It's on.
It's on. Gloves off. Yeah. So we've got 1 lap to go. 3.91 kilometres. Feeney, Waters, Brown, Mostert and Payne in 5th position. There is only 2.5 seconds across the top 5 cars in the field. And our umpire has said no investigation necessary. So what you see is what you get. Is Waters going to be able to do anything? Brown's tucked right in behind him, and Brock Feeney might get not only his first podium, but victory at Sydney Motorsport Park.
What an unbelievable race. We've argued for years that we should let this stuff play out on the track. And this is what has happened in terms of the play between these two teams. And the way that Will Brown was able to get involved in that, it actually helped Feeney massively. Waters runs into 6. He's only got 2 spots now. He's got over the hill and into turn 8. He's not close enough to put a move on here, but he does come off turn 8 better than Feeney. Can he fire down at the Mostert spot and get into the last corner on the inside?
They're wearing each other's cars at the moment through turn 8 for the very last time. Brock Feeney is our leader. It will be a desperate lunge by Waters when they get up to the final couple of corners. There is nothing in it. And he gets right onto the rear bumper again and tries to get up the inside. It's going to be on, it's going to be on, it's going to be on. He goes down the inside. This is an extraordinary conclusion to this motor race. I think that Feeney might just hang on. What an absolute rip of the race. But he's coming down there. Oh my goodness, it's been a change. To that motor race. I am blown away. I am blown away by what I have just seen. Oh my goodness me. By the margin of 0.030. I would not have thought that was possible at the last corner.
No way. Absolutely no way. How's the side draft? And even the bump, Will Brown gave him a bump, pushed him wide, and then he come up there so straight.
We played hard mode today, mate. We played hard mode, but we still got it.
That is a remarkable finish. I love this game when it's like that. That was just absolutely incredible.
So Cam Waters gets home by a ridiculously tight margin over Brock Feeney in the end. Excuse me, we'll be talking about this one for a while. Followed by Will Brown, followed by Chaz Mostert and Matty Payne, Thomas Randall, Anton De Pasquale, Heimgartner, Golding and Jackson Evans, well done, making it into the top 10. And James Courtney, enormous number of positions made, congratulations. Jack LeBrock has also made great ground from Hill to Kostecki, Jones, Love, Murray, Crick, Fullwood and Ryan Wood, who had a pretty tough night.